Bow, 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 bow. Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. Time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay, and with me tonight, I have an extra special co-host. I got my good friend, Debbie Weeder. How are you, Debbie?
Hello, I'm doing great.
Debbie and I have been friends a long, long time, and I'm so happy to have her on as my co-host tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. And then we have a great guest, and you know how I like to do. I like to match up my my guests with Tiki Talk. So before we start, let's start Jay's Tiki Talk, shall we? Each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug, and I've matched up my rums and my mugs with the guests perfectly. Hello, Sally and Rooster. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Hello.
What's going on? I see. I'm guessing that's wine. That would be my guess. I don't think that's rum.
Wine, yes.
All right. So if you don't know what's over Sally's head, that is the Rancor, and I got mine right here. And and I wore my Isley t-shirt tonight. But because one of our topics tonight is going to be Star Wars, I am drinking rum out of my Chewbacca tiki mug. But Sally and Rooster, well, yes, there happens to be a rum with a rooster on it, so I'm drinking Cockspur rum tonight. So get up exactly.
That rocks.
And it's yummy. So we're going to talk about full-size characters. We're going to talk about owning a store, and we're going to talk about someone who was never sold on eBay. So we'll get to Sally Ann in about half an hour. So Sally Ann, enjoy your wine, sit back, relax, up and run. I did want to show this picture real quick. This is I was leafing through my photos today. This is Debbie and I at eBay Open having a grand old time. Bare naked ladies. So, yes. And then also for those of you who have tuned in live right now, when I say live, I mean Thursday night, October 5th. I'm giving away 2 tickets to the Ecom Chicago event, October 19th through the 21st. So you got to stay tuned to the whole show. One ticket will be given away kind of in the middle. One ticket will be given away towards the end. They will be trivia questions that if you followed me for any length of time, you should know the answer to. And the first person who will win the ticket. So please only participate if you can be in Chicago, October 19th through the 21st. And please don't participate if you've already won. Okay? So cool. So we've done Tiki Talk. Oh, Debbie, what are you drinking? I forgot to ask what you are drinking, my dear.
I am drinking Bacardi rum. I know you don't like that. Out of this really special tiki mug that Jason sent me. We met him with my husband Robin and Jim at the Idle Hour in Los Angeles, and he sent me this as a remembrance of being there. And somehow we accidentally did a 3 dots and a dash. I had no clue, but I made one. So
yes, that is the accoutrement for 3 dots and a dash. All right. Well, cheers, Debbie. Thank you for being my co-host this evening. I look forward to a fun show.
My pleasure.
Tons of good tips. So speaking of, let's get right to them, shall we? Time for our scores of the week, where Debbie and I will be sharing with you the great stuff we sold in the last week or so. Typically, it's going to be bolos. Be on the lookout. Things you should find at thrift stores so you too can have some good scores. So, Debbie, I got you up first, my dear.
All ready?
Debbie?
I don't see it. What am I supposed to look at?
Are you clicked on the screen to have all the screen shares?
Do I click on myself?
No, there's 4 people down below. You'll see me in one of them. You'll see yourself in a second one.
Right.
You'll see Sally turned off. The 4th one, see your picture of your Barbie.
Oh, I thought that was chat. My beginner here. Okay, this is Barbie. The reason I shared this, look at that box. It is thrashed.
Yeah, that box is pretty beat.
It is thrashed. And I bought this, this is a Death Pile member. And I think I paid like $4 or $5 for it. And I thought that, and at the time, I'm going to tell you, Death Piles, they appreciate in value. So I brought this down, and my husband said, I think I can get $39.99 for this. And we sold it overnight, and it went to Germany. So don't be afraid just because the box is thrashed. It's, you know, it's unusual. So yeah, I was happy with that.
Okay, so apparently you guys can't see the listing. So for some reason, my other computer is controlling the show tonight. All right, cool. All right, surprise, surprise. All right, it's always a surprise with technology. So you guys should, there we go. Now you see the listing. So my bad. So let me get back over to it here. So I wanted to show you how trashed the box is, or Debbie wanted to show you.
Yeah, it is. It's bad. It looks like a rat got a hold of it or something, but somebody wanted it because the doll and everything and it was okay. Okay, this book. Do you see that price? I was asking $4.50. I've sold this book. I think this is the third or fourth time I found one. This is a consignment again. I had found one that was autographed, and I sold that one for around $3.50. But I noticed the price had gone up, so I listed it at $4.50, and then I accepted an offer of $3.50. So it's a very thin book, and it's kind of big. So it's, think about a child's picture book, and I just get so excited when I find one. So.
And what'd you pay? Do you remember?
Well, it's a consignment, so I didn't pay anything for it. So yeah.
That's the best kind.
I know. It's great. Okay, here's another one of my death piles that appreciated. This is the little gunned lion. It's just a little baby. I told my husband when he did the listing to make sure you put the word lovey in there. We sold this for $54.99. I am just in shock. Nice. Yes, and that sold fast too. It sold like within 24 hours. And then I have Ook Pick. This is another exciting one. I've had this book for probably 6 or 7 years. When I first found it at a library book sale, I paid $1 for it. I did some searching, and it looked like it could be worth about $1,500. It's a first edition, but then I couldn't really verify that, so I just sat on it for a while. Finally gave it to my husband to list, and it sold for $109.99, and it didn't sell right away, so that made me confident that I didn't underprice it. It has some damage, and you can see it's kind of popped. The book won't go flat, but for $110 for something that's been sitting on my bookcase for about 8 years, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, no kidding. Nice sale. All right, now Debbie and I did not compare notes ahead of time, and I too have a damaged item that would have sold for more had it not been damaged, but I still got good money. So I picked up this shag tiki set for about $40 at a garage sale, the Tiki Friend. And I'm going to show you here. There's tape damage right here at the top. And this white part here is all torn away. And also, all this stuff originally was glued into the box. Well, the person who had owned it prior had removed it all. So, of course, collectors would rather have it still attached, but I still turned it into a quick $160.
Fabulous.
So here you can see the damage a little better in this picture. So that's where the box is torn away, and that's where there's tape damage. So I still took a damaged tiki item because it was on the rare side by one of the favorite artists, Shag, and I turned it into $160.
Nice job.
Now, these were not on my radar. I went thrifting with some friends who were Poshmark sellers. My friend Lynn said, I got enough stuff to take home in my suitcase, but you should sell this skirt. I don't know nothing about Miss Me jeans, but I'm going to start learning because I sold this skirt rather quick for $32. I only paid $4.99. It was a nice quick flip, and now I want to learn all about Miss Me jeans because there wasn't a lot to that skirt. It was tiny, and I got $32 for it, so I like that.
That's exciting. I have a pair of Miss Me jeans to get listed.
Nice. Now, it's Halloween time, and as we're going live to Halloween costumes, but this is one I sold the other day. This is Akuma from Street Fighter, and as you can see, I used the back picture first because it was a little more photogenic than the front picture. Front picture wasn't bad, but with the Asian symbol on the back, much better. And it came in his packaging. But most people take that as their first picture. That's not all that exciting, but being on a full-size mannequin, much better. And the wig was not included. It wasn't lost. It originally wasn't included. And this guy's got shocking red hair like Heat Miser. So in caps, if you look at my title, wig not included, so no one's surprised when they don't get the wig. And I sold it for $61.
Nice.
And hats. I do quite well with hats. And in the tiki world, it's mainly rum. Hello, Cockspur rum. But there are a couple beers that are allowed in the tiki world. Primo beer from Hawaii is one of them. And I picked up this hat for $3.99 at Savers a month for $40.
Wow.
So if Primo beer is not on your radar, put it on your radar. You find vintage Primo shorts or shirts, we're talking $100, $200. So keep your eyes peeled for Primo stuff.
Cool.
All right, you've seen our scores. Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let Debbie's and I's mistakes be yours. And the duds of the week is brought to you by WorthPoint. WorthPoint is the largest resource for identifying, researching, and antiques, art, and vintage collectibles. And had Debbie and I use WorthPoint, we wouldn't have these duds. All right, my first dud, although it did sell, and although I did make a couple bucks, I always tell people, get political shirts, even old ones, when people are running for president and they don't win. So here is a Romney for president. I've usually done better with 15 bucks. I hadn't had any offers on it, and it had been up for about 6 or 7 months. But I only paid $2, so I did clear some money. It just wasn't a big seller, but it is always something good to sell. And then, before we get to Debbie's, let me pop myself back on the big screen. If you watched either of my tease videos today, my other dud is a pair of vintage Levi 550s. Orange tab jeans, which normally would be a good purchase. However, Debbie, they were cuffed in the store, and I never thought to unroll the cuffs, and someone just chopped the ends off.
No way. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
I'll still probably be able to sell them, but definitely not as much as and had I noticed, I bought so much stuff on this trip to Salt Lake City, I definitely would have left them behind, but I did not unroll the cuffs until I got home. Urgh.
Oh. Live and learn.
All right. So your first dud is, oops. Now you did good with some books. This is not a book, is it?
No, it's a pattern, and I think I had this listed for like 4 years because everybody always talks about patterns can do so well, and I probably paid $2 for it, and it sat, and every time Halloween would come around, see I've got Halloween there, it never sold, and so finally somebody made me an offer, $11.50, and it's time for this to move on.
Time for you to go to a new home.
Yes.
And then your other dud.
Oh, yes. I think I paid $6 or $7 for these. I had watched Nadine Schu's, webinar, and I thought, oh, Clark's, these should be good. And I'm sure I checked eBay, but when we went to list them, they just weren't worth it. We listed them at 15, and I took an offer of 10 just to get them out because they were paying shipping too. So that way, at least I got my money back.
Hey, look, I live in Vegas. To walk out of a casino even, that's a win in this town. So heck yeah. All right, you've seen our scores, you've seen our duds. Now it's time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty Kind, where Debbie and I will tell you stories of strange, weird, angry, fun encounters in the store. And let's all look at this cute picture of Debbie.
Oh, yes. This happened a couple years ago. I was at this thrift store, a Goodwill, here in my town. And at that time, they closed at 7. I think now they're open till 9. But it was around 6:40, and I thought, I probably should get home. And I left, and I went home. And then later on that night on the news, this exact thrift store, within that 20 minutes after I left and they closed, somebody came in and stabbed somebody in this thrift store. And I was just like, oh, I was so happy that I was not there to see it. I don't know if it was gang related. I didn't know the details, but it just blew my mind to think that I was that close to being in a thrift store when somebody got stabbed. I don't think they died, but that was very scary.
Yeah, can you imagine if you had one other errand to run that day, so you were there 20 minutes later? I mean, that just,
Oh my gosh.
Obviously Vegas happened on Sunday, and I go to a lot of concerts, and, I'm a fan of Jason. I could have just easily been at that concert, so you never know. And, if you've been following me for a while, you've heard the story. I'll give the short, quick version. My wife and I, when we first moved to Vegas, we were walking into a Savers that isn't where it used to be. And in the plaza it used to be in, it was this really long plaza that had held 12 businesses, and there was only 2 business, Savers and a discount clothing store. So there was plenty of sidewalk space. Well, 2 guys doing drugs decided they had to fight over the one little spot of sidewalk space, and I watched them kind of argue for a little while, making sure nothing weird happened. And I finally, I watched them for about 10 minutes. I walked into the thrift store, and the second the door screamed, I walk out. One of them had stabbed the other one.
Oh my gosh.
So, and they were so busy sniffing paint that the one that got stabbed, when he got picked up by the paramedics and put in the ambulance, he was still sniffing paint. His whole face was covered in silver. He's bleeding and he's sniffing paint.
Gosh.
Yes, kids, drugs are fun. Don't do them. Ugh. All right, but that was not my thrifty encounter. This is my thrifty encounter. Now, this is the lady who checked me out at a Savers in Salt Lake City. And so here's what happened, Deb. You will absolutely love this.
Can't wait.
The lady in front of me rang out, and she had a shopping cart full of stuff. So she left, and she left her cart sitting in the way. And I said to her, I said, you forgot your cart. And she goes, I forgot my what? I go, you forgot your cart. And then she says to me, well, where does it go? Like with that.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, probably found it. So she grabbed the cart and pushed it away in a huff. And the employee looked at me, shook my hand, and said, that was the best thing I have ever heard.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well done.
And yes, I fully aware that I'm a little cutting out. There is something weird going on between my computer and the interwebs and Google, and I can't figure it out. The computer's new. My speed is great. I don't know, and I can't figure it out. I'm going to try and figure it out, but yeah, I'll refresh. And so, Debbie, I'll refresh, and we'll see what happens, but I don't know. I can't figure out what the problem is. I can't figure out how to fix it, and that's a bummer. That's a bummer to do a show and not sound good. All right, but let's move on to You and Me, where Debbie and I will give you tips on what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. You've Got to Be Shipping Me is brought to you by Bubble Fast. Bubble Fast is a family-owned business providing quality shipping supplies to the online community since 1999. Bubble Fast, the internet's home for shipping supplies. And if you use the JNA code, you % off. But, I don't usually say this, you have to go to their website, bubblefast.com. You cannot do it on eBay. All right, Deb. So let's hear about your shipping tip, and I'm going to refresh. So I'll disappear, but I'll be back.
Okay, so we're doing a shipping tip. Well, I would like to introduce you to my best shipping tip. This is my shipping manager, my husband.
Hello, everybody.
He loves to ship. I did not realize I do not like to ship until he took over. So if you can have an assistant or somebody that loves to ship, that's really great. And then what we do is we use Ziploc bags. We get these at the 99-cent store, 2 different sizes, because we lived in Washington for many, many years, and rain ruins things. And sometimes the mailman might throw a package on the ground or whatever. So I know, yeah, there he is, the gangster guy. I know that my items are going to be safe when they're even, doesn't matter where they end up, on the porch in the snow, in the rain, because we're going into winter. My packages, my books especially, things you don't want damaged, are going to be fine. And because of that, I get these warning labels, suffocation warning labels, because what I buy at the thrift store, they're cheap, they're affordable, so there's no warning labels. So I buy these on eBay, and I stick one on every package. And then on our packages, we buy these on eBay too. These say, "Scan me, please, thank you." That way, going the wrong way. If the mailman should by chance forget to scan my package, he had a warning. Thank you, please. Scan my packages.
He had a warning.
Yeah, if she sells them,
All right,
I'll
so-
mail them.
Oh, say it again, honey.
I said,
I
if
like
she
that.
sells them, I mail them.
That's right.
So look at Bill. Look at Bill here. Nice, respectable-looking gentleman. And look at Bill here. Oops, wait a minute.
Oh, that's the real Bill at eBay Open. That's the Bill.
Yeah, this is my boy Bill right here. Look at that. That's my boy Bill right there.
Who's the guy next to me?
Oh, that's too funny. You guys have to come to eBay Open 2018. It was a blast.
Yeah, this is the kind of shenanigans we do at eBay Open.
Yes.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
And where do you get the Scan Me labels, Debbie?
eBay. I buy
Nice.
both of these labels on eBay, and they're so affordable. I think this is $6 with free shipping, and I get, I don't know, like 1,000. So,
All right.
it's really
By the
nice.
way, do I sound any better, people in the chat? I switched a couple things, and I'm hoping I sound better. So please let me know. Okay, so here's my shipping tips, and I did tease them earlier. Okay. I'm doing 2 tonight just because it came in the same day, and I am doing what not to do. See the, oops, I want to show my address. See this giant envelope, Debbie?
Yes.
You would expect something big to be in here, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Want to see what's in here?
Uh-oh.
Ready? Ready, ladies and gentlemen? That's it.
Oh, no.
It's a magnet. Would you look at the ridiculous size of envelope they used? That's it. Just this one magnet. So tip number 1 is don't use things that are this big. I mean, I've used things that are a little bit bigger. This is Bizarro World.
Because they're spending more money to use a bigger envelope like that. I wonder if they think it's going to get lost. If it's a bigger envelope, it won't get lost.
Could be. Now, here's the other tip, and this is my main tip. You know, a lot of members of the thrifting board have learned tiki stuff from me, and they find stuff. And when you find something I don't have, I am happy to give you money for it. So a member named Christina Logan, and Christina said it was cool to say her name because she likes to learn too. So don't think I'm throwing Christina under the bus because I'm about to show you what not to do. And she was cool with it because she's like, I'm glad you told me, Jay. She sent me this very thin-walled, very rare Anamaku's coconut mug. And vintage mugs, especially coconuts, are thin and easy to break. Yeah. This is the box she set it in. It's the perfect size box. But let me show you the other side of it, Deb. Oh, yeah, that don't look so good.
Oh, my gosh. Oh,
so what happened was Christina did not have enough packing material in her box. You should have enough where it won't ever get crushed like that. And so she had the mug wrapped up in this bubble, which was great. And she had some air pills, which are great, but not enough.
Oh, boy.
I am actually shocked because it's vintage, because it's thin. I'm actually shocked they made it to me. So she was very happy that I let her know. She's going to fix her shipping practices. And she was more than happy to say, please use my name because it's a good teaching lesson for everybody. So, Christina, thank you for letting me share that. And I hope that helps everyone to remember to put enough packing material in your box so it doesn't get damaged in any way.
The tiki gods were with you.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, so now it is time for our Thrifty Tip of the Week, brought to you by Stamps.com. Postage on demand. Stamps.com's online postage service enables small businesses like myself and some of you guys, enterprises, and online retailers to print U.S. Postal Service approved postage, which is a computer, printer, and internet connection right from their home or office. And now's a good enough time to share a little present I bought for Debbie.
I love presents.
This week at a thrift store because I'll be using Stamps.com to send it to Debbie. So we're going to pause for a second. So here's a bonus thrifty tip. If you find something your friend likes, buy it for him.
So and then give it to him on air.
Yes, Debbie, myself, and our good friend and my frequent co-host, Robin, we have a group chat on Facebook, and the number 666, the number of the beast, shows up quite a lot in our lives. Receipts, video poker, getting dealt 3 6s. So we just share pictures anytime 666 shows up. And I said, hey, Debbie, would you wear a shirt with 666 on it? She said, if it's funny. So I found this t-shirt while I was thrifting in Salt Lake City, of all places. Party time, 666. Excellent.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
It's a cool tie-dye, and it's a girly shirt. So
it's perfect. I love tie-dye.
So there you go, Deb. That's a little present, and I'll be using Stamps.com to ship it to you. All right, Deb, what is your thrifty tip of the week?
Okay, my thrifty tip is if you're out maybe traveling or even in your own vicinity, and you're Googling, looking for thrift stores to go, make sure you call them first because they may have gone out of business or moved. And this has happened to me before. I was with a friend. I found the thrift store. I got the address and everything, and I drove there 20 minutes or so out of my way, and it was shut down. It wasn't even there. So that taught me to always call ahead of time because thrift stores, they run out of money. They go out of business. They move. In real estate, for them, they can't always afford good real estate, places to put their stores. So always call first before you spend time. You might be driving an hour out of your way, and there's no thrift store when you get there.
Yeah, I've been there, not with just thrift stores, but also with like bars and restaurants and other places that I've gone to that I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't know so it went out of business. So that is a Excellent, excellent tip. All right, so my tip this week is it is Halloween time. A lot of thrift stores have Halloween sections, and what do I find a lot in the Halloween sections that could be used for Halloween but isn't necessary? Disney hats. So in the last week or so, I found and sold this goofy hat with ears in about 10 minutes of it being listed for $30.
Nice.
And I have this Jessie cowboy hat, official Disney Jessie cowboy hat listed right now.
You wear it well.
I'm about to list this Mickey Sorcerer's Apprentice hat.
Nice.
And I've just listed this Minnie Mouse Princess hat.
Oh, now that does fit you well.
Hat. Yeah. So
Cute.
The tip is keep your eyes peeled for Disney hats in your Halloween section because those don't need to be sold at Halloween time necessarily. They can be sold all year long.
Great tip.
There we go. Hey, there we go. I've lost my train of thought on what computer's running what thing. All right, now it's time for. Oh,
that sounds like R2D2.
Oh, my speaker keeps not connecting. So, hey, it's time for the eBay tip of the week. Technology me is not having fun tonight. eBay tip of the week is brought to you by FreeUp. FreeUp with 3 E's is the hands-on solution to hire remote e-commerce workers. FreeUp vets hundreds of workers a week, so you get the access to the top 1% of online talent whenever you need them. Sign up is free, no monthly fees, no minimum hours. Get the workers you need when you need them and only pay for the hours they work. Brenda, hey, Brenda. A loyal watcher of the show heard Nate when he was on is now on her way to building a remote empire with her team of FreeUp workers. Go to FreeUp with 3 E's to start to free up your time and scale your business. All right, so here is my eBay tip of the week. All right, Deb, I thrifted this hat from Bourne 5, the 5th movie in the Jason Bourne series. It was filmed all over the globe, London, Berlin, Tennessee, Washington, Las Vegas, between 2015 and 2016. Hey, I live in Las Vegas. That's why I probably found it here. Yep. This was a production hat. That means this was not a hat for sale. This means it was a hat that if you worked on the movie and you needed a hat because you're out in the sun, I'm sure there was boxes of these to grab. So I had noticed when I had thrifted it, I didn't look it up because any production stuff usually does quite well. But I noticed when I looked it up, it was selling very low, Deb, very low prices. And no one was mentioning it was a production hat. And production hat means you couldn't just buy it. So I sold mine for $40. Let's see what the only one listed for right now. Ooh, $12.99.
Wow. Are you going to buy that one?
They use things like memorabilia, black, baseball, new flex fits. You don't need all that shit in your title. You need that this is a production hat and play up the fact that it was, a production hat. And so I got $40. This buyer wants to get 13.
So now we'll see which one of our watchers is going to buy this hat and arbitrage it and resell it for even more, maybe.
Yep. All right.
Wow, that's crazy. It's amazing what one keyword can do, the difference.
All right, Deb, what's your tip? Okay,
my tip is, we get best offers, and I wasn't really paying attention to this until my husband and I kind of figured it out. So if I have something for $29.99 and it's becoming usual thing for me to get like a $10 offer on that. So maybe I was feeling nice, I would counter at $19.99. Well, I just closed my gap. And so now what I do is I might counter at $24.99 because I keep the gap wider, because if I cut it down to $19.99, they're going to come back and counter within that window. And I just lost at least $10 on my own mistake. So by not coming down so close on my counter offers, it leaves more wiggle room. And if they want it, they're going to pay for it. If they don't, okay, because somebody else will buy it. And I've noticed lately when I get best offers, even if the person and I can't agree on a price, somebody else will come along and buy it at full price, because all of a sudden it's come up in search, or somebody that's watching it realizes somebody else is going to take it. So don't be too generous. Sometimes I feel nice, oh, this person might want this, but don't get so far apart. I mean, stay far apart so that there's room in there to wiggle. so they don't steal your item for 12 bucks.
I love it. All right. Now, one more segment before we get our guest on here. I haven't done this segment in quite a while, but I wanted to do it tonight. Time for the good, the rad, and the ugly, because we know, if you've been listening to us for any amount of time, ugly sells. So
That's right.
Debbie's got something ugly sitting there.
See my mask?
What? Is that a ceramic?
Yes, it's clay, and I think it's probably something somebody made in, you know, in a studio, like a class. Could be school. I love looking for things like this, because it's probably one of a kind. See the teeth? See the little teeth there? I doubt if there's another one identical like this anywhere in the world. So I love finding things like that. I found years ago, I found a much smaller mask. I sold it for $49. I paid $1 for it.
Wow.
And that was taking a best offer. It was on Christmas Day. And then here's my little, I call it the lady, little statue. It's another little clay project that somebody made. And I haven't listed these yet, so I don't know how much I'm going to get for them, but I love to find ugly, weird, unique things, because that's what people come to eBay for, is to find the unusual. And I've heard Lynn Drawley say she puts weird and ugly in her titles to help sell things.
I use ugly quite a bit. Now, speaking of ugly, again, eye of the beholder kind of thing. I like it. My wife likes it. Some people wouldn't. But I found this dress today on the Halloween rack, of course. Oops, I got it upside down. This is bitchin'. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip.
Nice.
Especially if you live in a metropolitan area, like, you know, Vacaville's right outside the Bay Area. I'm in Vegas. There's no tag. This is homemade. If this would have fit my wife, it would be staying in the house. It's a little too big.
Love it.
And my tip is, when you find cool, ugly stuff or vintage stuff, a lot of secondhand stores, if you have them in your town, will buy them from you, like trading CDs in. So there's some stores in town I can sell to. And what I can do is, now I'm not making huge profit, but I'm making profit. I can pick up stuff $2, $3, $4, and I can get $8 to $12 for them from the store. They're, of course, going to sell it for $30, $40, but they're having the walk-in customers see it. To describe this dress, and I could, but without a brand, it gets a little tricky. So if I can find enough $3 and $4 items and take in a load and get, like, you know, $100, $150 for 20, 25 items that I only paid a couple bucks for each, that's a good return on stuff that will sell easier to someone standing there in front of it. And so this will probably be going in that pile to sell to my local secondhand stores.
I love that fabric. That's really pretty.
Yeah, and that's sweet. Do a little bit of quick housekeeping, and then we will get Sally Ann in here. All right. People have been asking for this, and it's finally coming to fruition. I did a Tiki webinar 2 months ago called Tiki Talk. What is it and should I buy it? Broke it down into 8 sections. Talked all about the history of Tiki, the cocktail, Tiki bars, the cocktails, the rum, the mugs, the Tikis themselves, the music, the clothing. What's the difference between a real hardcore Tiki collector and a Jimmy Buffett collector? I did it live twice. Had a Q&A after each one. Oddly, there was no same questions after each one. People who missed it the first time been asking for it, so it's being readied for a download, and it's supersized. We took both Q&As, stuck them in one webinar, and that will be I'm going to start sending out preview videos tonight or tomorrow morning, and that'll be available for download starting, I think, on Monday. And to go along with that, the Secret Beach is opening soon. So in about a week, the Secret Beach will be open for new beachcombers. If you don't know what the Secret Beach is, that is my subscription-based Facebook group. I have weekly, not weekly, I have monthly webinars in the group. I have monthly guest webinars. I have bonus YouTube shows, how-to videos, and we have parties around the year. So awesome. if you've been wanting to join the Secret Beach, it is opening next week.
Yay.
And now it is time to give away our first ticket to Ecom Chicago. Yay. So on the heels of talking about Tiki, the first person to answer this question correctly, and please, I implore you, make sure you're answering if you can go to Chicago. Please. All right, I am looking at the chat, and the question is, who invented the Tiki bar? Shh, Debbie.
I know.
Shh. All right, chat. I am watching you. I will screenshot to make sure I see the first person. Please don't play if you can't go. I would love to see you at Ecom Chicago. Love to see you hanging out in Chicago. It's going to be a great week. It has been for the last 3 or 4 years.
Awesome.
Who invented the Tiki Bar? If you've watched me, if you've listened to me, if you took my webinars, you will know that answer. So far, no guesses. Now, that shouldn't have been a really hard question if you've been paying attention. And I can switch to the next question if no one gets it, but I'm not seeing any guesses. None. 0.
I think some people need to take your Tiki class.
Bam. Robin Helms got it.
Woo! Congratulations, Robin.
Robin Helms, Don the Beachcomber.
Yes.
No, not me. Someone guessed me. Yeah, I'd like to take credit for that. All right, Robin, do me a huge favor. And when we're done on the show tonight, send me a message on Facebook, and I will get you what you need to get so you get a free ticket for Ecom Chicago. So congratulations, Robin.
How exciting.
Yay. All right.
Awesome.
And then last quick thing before we get into our guest. I usually teach a class in Chicago. I'm not doing one this year, but 2 of my lifeguards are 2 of them. Joy Williams and Bridget Williams, no relation, oddly enough. And they're doing a class on October 19th, 9 a.m. 2 spots left. So if you are interested, come on over to the thrifting board or message me and I'll get you set up. 2 spots left. You get 2 of my lifeguards who I entrust the thrifting board with, 2 of them for the price of 1. And they're going to take you through a 3.5-hour class in the thrift store. So let me know or find the post in the thrifting board if you want to sign up, and we will get you all squared away. All right. Let me get Sally Ann's artwork up here real quick, and we'll get her in here. Boop-a-doo. There we go. Hey, it's time for our guest of the week, Sally Ann Rooster. I think she's already turned her stuff back on. How are you, Sally?
I'm wonderful.
That is awesome. Now, I just got to say, I am in love with the over your right shoulder there.
Thank you. He's flattered.
But before we get to him, before we really get into him, okay, hold on real quick. Chat, I told you, whoever wins is the first one I see. So, Ron, you might see your answer first, but I see Kim's answer first. I can only go by what I see. Everyone sees the chat in a different order.
Right.
So, oh, my bad. I do see Ron's now. I missed it. It's there now. So, I take that back, but I'll tell you what. I will do Ron and Robin, so I don't want to make Robin feel like she lost out. So instead of doing a second question, I will take care of Ron and Robin. So I do apologize. Yeah, I somehow missed that.
Congratulations.
So, I will blame the internet. So I got you, Ron. I got you. Ron and Robin, I got you.
Congratulations, Ron.
My bad. My bad. So, Ron, hit me up too. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, Sally Ann, why don't you give us your quick, 60-second bio? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? Those kind of things.
Okay, we are in Rooster, Sally Ann's. We have a storefront in the city of Chino, California. Been in business for about a year now. My husband, who's trying to video bomb me. But yeah, we've been in business since November. I started off I would say for about 2 months in my garage, and I got tired of giving people the address to the house. So I found a cheap little storefront to rent on a month-to-month basis, and it took off from there. Drink, dear.
I have never had that entertaining of a spouse in the background before. So make sure he stays around, because usually I would be like, hey, knock that off. But no. Feeding the Rancor wine, that's pure genius. So heck yeah.
Oh my God.
So Sally Ann, how long you been thrifting?
I've been thrifting for about 30 years now. Every Sunday faithfully after church, my grandmother, Annie Rooster, I had to go to church and the thrift store. And she called them, all thrift stores were called Sally Ann's. So that's where the name came from, Sally Ann's. all the thrift stores were Sally Ann's.
And so that's not your real name.
No.
You're
That's our
hiding.
business name. We actually incorporated. We actually incorporated the name Annie Rooster Sally Ann's.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So the chat says, how can you be thrifting for 30 plus years? You only look 35.
True.
I'm going to take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Is your grandma?
I was with my grandmother since the day I was born. So I had to go to thrift stores with her.
Is she still alive?
No, she's deceased. She's been gone for about 20 years now.
Okay.
20 years or so.
Yeah, my grandmother, my mom took me when I was 6, so I've been thrifting for 40 years because of grandma and mom too. So I was, and back then I was drug along to flea markets, which were only antiques. And let me tell you, country antiques to a kid in the 70s is not exciting.
Well, I beat you both. I've been doing it for 55 years. My grandma started me when I was 4, and that was back in the 60s. So
wow.
I beat you both.
Wow.
Thanks, Deb. I feel really young now. Thank you, Debbie. So, Steve, and let's get right into this. And then we'll definitely talk. I got all the pictures of your store and what you kind of specialize in all loaded up. But you said something very interesting to me before the show. And I said, hey, do you sell on eBay? And you said no. But give me the reason why you don't sell on eBay.
Because I've heard a lot of horror stories about selling on eBay that I just decided to stay away from it and stick with my niche. I had a tenant who subleased, and she just had so many stories of buyers complaining, some buyers trying to, they would have something shipped to them and they would want their money back, or they would try to keep the item and say it was damaged. So I just decided to stay away from eBay.
So I saw Debbie recoil in horror because, that's not the norm. So here's what I want you to, I want you and everyone listening, because we do have people who get a little worried. Mm-hmm. Here's what I want you to think about. So online, especially online, people love to complain. Right. But within that, people also have issues. And of course, my group, the Thrifting Board, is there to help you with your issues. Now, here is what people forget about. So in my group, there is 34,000 members. And let's say today 3 people had an issue. That leaves us 33,997. And let's say on a low estimate, we all only sell 1 item a day. So today there is 33,997 positive transactions. Tomorrow there's 33,000. So you and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because a lot of people do it, and I get it. If you've not done it, you see these horror stories. You're like, oh my God. But no one is talking about the 10 transactions that went fine for them today, because there's nothing to talk about, really. People bought, they paid, we shipped, they got it, they liked it. And you see the complaints. Now, if you go to other groups, you see them wallow in the negativity. If you do come to mine, you'll see it, because sometimes people don't know what their next step is, and that's cool. Negativity I don't want, but we have all had issues. I just had one taken care of. But if you don't know how to take care of it, come to me. But don't forget the quiet, faceless, nameless 34,000 positive transactions. And that's just in my group, Right. So think about the millions of transactions, and not just eBay. Let's talk millions of eBay, Amazon, Etsy, all day long that go fine. Yes. And yeah, within millions, you will have a couple, So when you're ready, I'm here for you. Debbie's here for you. And then 34,000 other members are here for you to help you, because it is a positive place to sell. Look, you own a brick and mortar. I'm sure you've had some shoplifting. Has anyone pretended to fall down yet and try and sue you? Because that'll happen too.
Actually, no. My store is on lock and key. My customers come in based off of appointment only.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, appointment only. I build a rapport with some people. And I'm lucky, knock on wood, I haven't had any yet.
But it could happen.
Since 2002, when I started selling eBay, I haven't had any issues. I've had a few returns and things, but it's all part of doing business. But I've been very fortunate too. And I take good care of my buyers. I don't try to scam anybody. I don't put something up and not disclose any flaws, anything like that. You just do the right thing, and their buyers are great.
Right.
So when you're ready, we're here for you. And I want you to take that leap because you open up. Now, we're going to get to what you normally sell, and that might be a little tricky, but your smaller stuff, you know, you open up from Chino, California to the entire world. So when you have the entire world buying and you've got an eye and you've got great shit, so you might as well open it up to 7.4 billion potential customers, you know? But here to help you, and not here to badger you into it, but just telling you it's a good way to earn a living, and we will help. And when you have a problem, and you will, we'll help you through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's look at pictures of your place because you got a really nice looking place. I cannot wait to get there to shop. So here, let me get the right screen up since I had to switch everything around here.
Love this picture.
Okay.
All right. So I started with the outside of the store. So you'll know you're in the right place if you see a lot of giant things, right?
Wow, those are awesome.
And who's that guy on the right? I'm guessing it's from a game.
Yeah, that guy's my husband.
You just hanging out in front of the store?
Yeah, that's what I do.
He's one of my characters.
I'm just a local
Nice.
transient.
So let's look at the inside of the store here. Great looking store. You know, a lot of cool vintage stuff.
Yes.
You know, I'm not seeing anything ultra modern. And so here's some shots of your store. My mom will love this I Love Lucy picture there.
Oh, yes. I see a lot of things
Now,
that would sell on
how
eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what I was thinking. How big's your store?
It's 1,500 square feet.
Oh, that's
Okay,
a
so
good
it's not
size.
real big, but you got a lot in there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice displays. I like how you have it set up.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've
I'm
done
also
really
proud.
well. Like when you have a lot of stuff, you need to show it all. But man, you've done it well where it's all in its place. Like and Debbie will attest to this. My house is a museum to all things tiki, and I got a lot of shit, but it's all in its place.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then here's some Halloween tin. I mean, excuse me, Christmas tins, Coca-Cola stuff. And boy, look at all this fun stuff here.
Wow.
And I
That's
see
cool.
Marilyn way in the back. Some brand new pictures of Marilyn skinny dipping just surfaced at an auction today. And so Marilyn's in the news right now. So definitely profile your Marilyn picture there because people are talking about her today.
Yes.
All right, but let's get to the fun stuff. All right, let's start right here. What are those? Oh, wait, they're giant M&Ms.
Oh, they're so cute.
So Sally
Love
Ann,
that.
you specialize in, amongst other things
Licensed
else,
characters.
big things, big
Yes.
full-size characters. So where are you acquiring these at all different places? Do you have one main source?
So far I've been acquiring them, for example, the M&M characters on OfferUp, the site OfferUp. I would say the first life-size character I purchased was Mr. Kool-Aid. And he's back there too. You can't see him, but I purchased
Kool-Aid.
for $50. And I looked him up, and he's very hard to acquire. So then I just started searching the web, Googling life-size characters. And a lot of people were winning them at grocery store. Like, say, for example, if a grocery store was closing down or the employee wanted an auction, they would turn around and sell it.
Can you see the resemblance?
Ah,
Don't look now. Kool-Aid's over your shoulder.
love it. I grew up with Kool-Aid Man.
Yes, and then I searched Facebook. That's where I found the Rancor. The actual creator is a engineer in the video and movie industry.
Oh, wow.
So he Jeremy Fisher. I'm sure he will.
All right, so hang on. Let me get right to the Rancor picture then. There it is. Oops, I gotta put that picture on the big screen. And so for those of you who don't know, let me pop myself here. This is the Rancor. He is from Return of the Jedi. And spoiler, Luke kills him. I would hope you would know by now. But the Rancor was only in one scene in one movie. Totally love the Rancor. Always have had a Rancor around the house. And then I see this picture of Sally Ann, and I'm like, oh my God, that is the most awesome thing I've ever seen. Look at the size.
Yes.
And
Of
I've got the picture of you sitting in his lap basically on the big screen right now. But now you can see that's the size of him. And then there's his head next to her right now in her dining room right there.
Yes. And he's actually a costume.
What? Wait, what?
Yes, it's actually a costume. So you actually step into the body of the Rancor, and it has it's been engineered to be, to be worn, by someone maybe 5'7" to maybe 5'9". It has an AC unit in it, and it's mechanically operated hydraulically.
Oh, I thought I was in love before, Debbie. I'm in so love now. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna end the show. I'm driving to Chino. How much? I'm buying it.
I will divorce my husband before I get rid of him. Well, should I say I'll get rid of my husband before I get rid of him?
All right. That is beyond. I mean, I thought it was epic before. My, oh my.
No, he's actually a costume.
That is insane.
He's a costume.
Now,
he's about 6 pounds.
Tell us again, while I was getting everything set up, tell us again how and where you acquired him.
I'm from the Facebook market. I typed in a simple search of a life-size character, and it popped up for sale, and I thought about it, and I just submitted an offer, and he accepted it.
Wow, you lucked out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose you'll share with us what you paid, will you?
$10,000.
Okay.
Wow. So your husband's only worth $10,000 or less?
Yeah.
No, I'm less now. I'm in the negative.
Yeah, I would have dropped that coin on it too. That's damn impressive.
But it's interesting because I posted on your site. I was up at night and I said, hey, would you guys buy this? When I had the option, and a few people said no, some people said yes, and I went with the yes.
Good job.
And I bought it, and I haven't regretted it since.
So what are you going to do with it? That's the question.
I'm actually remodeling the store, and I'm turning one of my rooms into. You couldn't see it on the pictures, but I have the rooms are divided into 6 different offices. They're about I would say 10 by 10 spaces, and the last room I'm turning into an actual museum, and I'm making him a man cave, so it's gonna look like he's in a cave with my Darth Maul and Yoda, which Yoda is right here.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see Yoda.
Wow, yes.
You see Yoda? Oh, and Bart. There's Bart.
I see him. Wow.
Yep, so I'm making different sections, so I'm gonna have a whole museum set up for people's entertainment. Come by and take pictures.
Wow. So now will you charge them to do that?
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. That there may be say a donation box. Just for me to be able to keep it up, because I have Michael Jackson now. I have Michael Jackson, Batman, Superman. Who else?
Uncle Sam.
Well, that's
Uncle Sam.
Wow, that's a way to get people in your store too.
Yes. When I have the Roosters and say for example, my Kill Zone Soldier, it's an immediate stopper. People stop, they come in, they shop. And
you can have your own haunted house. You can have a haunted house.
You should have heard the story when she was driving down the road in the back of our truck with these 10-foot roosters in the back, and people were posting pictures all over Facebook.
Whoa.
Saying that's a big cock driving down the road.
Too bad they didn't know your store name.
Well, you know what? They knew it after that, because I posted on Facebook, said, hey, did anyone see a little black chick driving around with 3 10-foot tall roosters in the back of a white truck? And the pictures swarmed in onto my Facebook page. So from that point, it got a lot of store attention. Free advertising.
So, and this is a unique angle that we've never really talked about. Like, you made this investment not for the flip because you love it, but you're going to use it as a way to draw in people. And so you've put out money that you will never see, because all we do, most of us, is buy things and then sell them for more. You bought something to keep and then to draw people in. And you're right. I think it's amazing, because here's already just talking to you. I want to do another show with you in the near future, and I'm coming to your store. We're doing it live from the store. It's
I'm coming too.
Awesome. So when you get
love that.
all set up, we will definitely come to the store and we'll do it live because, I mean, you've already got me hooked. Like I'll ready to pack up and drive there right now. Like,
we can come down.
I'll bring you $11,000
and help her get started on eBay.
Hey,
we'll help you.
Just from these characters, I have people that drive from San Diego to Chino. I just had a lady come and buy something that I paid $1 for, and she bought it for 18 bucks. It was a German piggy bank, an old piggy bank from the early 1900s. And they just road tripped and came down. And from that point, they want to drive down once a month to shop.
Well, see, you need to be on eBay. I mean, it's nice to have them come into your store, but just think what you could be selling if you're on eBay. We'll come down and help you get set up. We'll help you get listed. That would be fun. Now, is there a price if somebody, is it called Rancor? I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Is there a price?
Wait, what? Get off my show. You're out of here.
I know, but I did love I did see the last movie, and I will attend Star Wars Land when it opens at Disneyland.
All right.
But is there a price you would take for him?
That's a tough one. It's a tough one because he's only one of 2 ever made.
Oh.
So there's only
someone drops $100K on your counter, you sell them?
sold, but I have to be able to do visitation.
Oh, I love it.
I still want to be able to see him.
Of course. Of course.
Well played. Well played.
Oh, that is so cool. How come we never find things like that when we're out thrifting? I mean, I've been doing this, like I said, 55 years. I've never seen a life-size anything.
That's a good question, and let's talk about it. So you don't sell on eBay, but where do you sell besides your store?
I sell on OfferUp, the Facebook Market, and Close 5. Those are the only sites.
So for those of you who don't know, all those are apps on your phone. It's kind of like the modern version of Craigslist. I'm pretty sure we all know Craigslist, but different companies have made apps to make it easy on your phone. And I too use OfferUp. I have not used Close 5 enough, and I use Facebook Marketplaces to both buy and sell. And you're doing the same. You're buying cool shit and you're selling cool shit.
Right. I've literally bought something from someone on the Facebook Market and turned around and sold it and made about $100 off of something.
Nice.
Simply because I knew what it was.
Now, do you have kids or grandkids that come and see these things?
I have 2 children. I do allow children to come in on rare occasions. But normally I don't let kids come in because I have some pretty exotic art.
Oh, okay, good. Whoa, Jason,
wait, where's those
like
pictures? Come on now. What the heck? Wait a minute. You got dirty pictures and I'm not seeing them in the show? What?
Yeah, I kind of tell some parents, a lot of people get upset sometimes. They want to shop or pick something up. And I tell them, well, I don't want your children to see ladies' butts or, something that their little eyes shouldn't see, yet.
Yet. It's too late for Jason's little eyes.
Right.
Yeah, well, hey, send me some pictures. I might just shop from the comfort of my home.
Hey, you got it. You got it.
Awesome.
Any black velvet nudes?
No black velvet nudes. Nothing yet. Not that yet.
Well, keep your eyes open for those because Jason would like to buy those off of you.
Hey, you never know.
See, the chat's saying, "Oh, Jason's coming for sure now." I was coming anyway, but now.
Oh, too funny. Because you're not too far away from her, Jason.
Yeah, not too far. I'm going to be in LA in a couple of weeks, but I got a very small window, so I won't make it this time. But yeah, I'm coming, and I want to do a show from there. Once you get the Rancor all set up, so let me know because we'll definitely do a show right from the store. Heck yeah.
Yes. There'll be a whole bunch of us showing up.
I would love that.
So what's been so if you said it, I missed it because of course I'm still producing the show and I'm watching the Cleveland Indians game. Go Tribe! What made you actually open the brick and mortar? What was the point where you're like, I got to have a whole store?
Well, my husband's in law enforcement, and I had of course I haven't joined.
Oh yeah,
love our blue.
eBay, those sites yet. So I was selling from OfferUp, and I would very leery of giving our home address out or driving to Starbucks to meet someone to pick up something. That's a waste of money and gas and time. So I was cutting through McDonald's one day and I, made a wrong turn and found my space. And it was pretty inexpensive. I saw a sign on the wall. I called. I was able to negotiate pretty cheap rent with him, and it went from there.
That's awesome.
So a wrong turn, Debbie, led her to the promised land, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say the universe was watching out for you. Yay, McDonald's.
So it started, and then I was making that kind of money just from selling from the garage. So why not go to brick and mortar and sell more, which I have been doing.
Good idea.
So when's the last time you had a real job? I'm using air quotes.
Let's see. I actually used to work with my husband at the police department. I retired in 2009. And from
were you a police officer also?
I was an officer also.
Wow, thank you both very much.
Yes.
I was also a realtor. I worked.
Who's froze? Is it me?
Sally.
Dang it! I was telling a good story. I wasn't sure which one of us froze. Okay,
We made it this far.
All right, so hopefully Sally comes back because yeah, here, yep, she.
Am I back?
Yay!
Yes, you're back. Okay, so I said, "Were you a police officer?" You said yes. I said thank you, and then you were gone.
Okay, that's simply what happens.
So did you say you were a real estate agent at one point?
Yes, I was a realtor. I'm still a licensed agent. I'm just kind of taking a hiatus break.
She's on a sabbatical.
Yeah, because I love doing this. I love this. This is my passion. This is what I was born to do. So
we get it. We get it.
So
wow,
Sally,
you do a great job.
What's your husband's name, Sally?
Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Yeah.
Hi, Greg.
Yeah. Just an average guy.
And how long you guys been married?
Carry the two.
Almost 2 years now.
Oh, they're newlyweds.
They are young love. Listen there.
Yeah. No, I'm divorced. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But finally moved in the right direction. So
Greg, I don't know how that goes. I've been with my wife for 27 years. Tell me what I should do. Just
Thank
kidding.
you.
It only gets better. Oh, wow.
I'm very much kidding.
It's
a joke.
We're gonna go offline on that one. I think I do with the type of relationship. It's really open as far as what we have, and besides, she's 9 years younger than me, so that's a bonus.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I want the other way. Mine's 6 years older than me.
So, Greg, where's going to be your limit when she starts bringing home all these monsters?
Damn it.
Did they
We've
freeze
lost
again?
Sally's connection again.
Well,
I
she
know.
made it this
At least we
far.
got the end of the. At least we got the end of the show.
I guess that's part of that thing, huh?
Yeah. Woo, look at the time.
Yeah. Oh.
And this week I'm going to another. I'm at a company that they just characters from overseas, places Disneyland and museums. That's basically where the Michael Jackson came from.
Disneyland? What?
Yes. So I have a couple items that I'm going to be bidding on. And right now, this particular company, it's called Water Decor. I haven't seen too many people at the auction, so I cleaned up last week.
Oh,
I even have a life-size bull now.
Wow.
A life-size bull?
A life-size bull.
No, it's
nice.
It's
yeah,
the real
I mean,
deal.
like I don't know if I should say this, his bull balls are about as big as your head.
Oh.
And I don't know how I'm going to
hang on, so everyone get the visual. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
Well, imagine two of those put together.
Yeah, 1, 2. There you go.
There you go.
I take it it's a male. A bull is a male cow.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's let's end on a couple notes here because this has been a great show. Sally Ann and her husband have found their niche and they're conquering it. And I love that because it is so unlike anything that we've ever talked about or really seen. And I think that is super duper cool. But I want to end on a little bit of a solemn note. So I live in Las Vegas, and obviously Las Vegas Sunday night isn't the normal Las Vegas. We had a tragedy here of epic proportions. And so since you guys are both at some point been police officers, I want to thank you because of all the first responders in my town Sunday night. It was pretty, that part of it was epically amazing that police officers and even security guards in Mandalay Bay pretty much walked into the line of fire to take care of what we had to take care of. And, you know, I talked about it already once on a YouTube video, but you know, it's a weird time to be here. It's a weird time for me because I go to a shit ton of concerts and I could have easily been at that concert. So well, I've talked about my secret beach. I'm going to talk about here and end on this note. If you live life sitting in the corner, if you live life afraid, you're not living life. And, you know, if tomorrow's my day, tomorrow's my day. But if it isn't, I'm going to make sure that I've lived my life tomorrow, that it's not going to be any outside force that I can't controlling me to not live my life. So tomorrow night, even though it's only 5 days later, my wife and I are going to a concert. Saturday night, we're going to go to the UFC. You know, I don't expect tomorrow night or Saturday to be my end of my life, but if it is, it is. But I'm not going to sit home and suck my thumb in the corner. So I want to thank you guys for being police officers.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I want to make sure to remind everybody that when tragedy hits, no matter if it's a local thing, if it's a worldwide thing, it sucks. You got to deal with it, but you should not live in fear, because if you live in fear, you're not living. We all should fear it. That's because you never know when 1 second you're at a concert, next second you're deceased, but don't give into it. Yeah. And that's, you know, I hate to end on a solemn note, but I live in a town where it messed us up. So.
Well, then you think about Tom Petty just drops dead of a heart attack.
Friends that have new people that, you know, lost loved ones.
That's the thing, you know, about law enforcement is a small circle. I mean, I got friends from California to New York and in between. And when you hear something like this, and then you start seeing, and I don't know, is social media it kind of has its pros and cons, but when you see negative things, and that's the first thing you find out is on social media, you know, it kind of sets you back. But you can only try to push forward. You know, we're supposed to be going to see Elton John next week, so I'm trying to convince her to keep going over there at Caesar's.
Are you coming here next week?
Yeah, we're supposed to.
We're supposed to.
All right, well, let's chat after. I'll Debbie knows. I'll give you the J tour of Vegas. You'll have a good time.
Best. Yes. Yeah, you need to go. You just need to go and enjoy, because we never know. I mean, a car accident, a heart attack, we never know. So we can't let things scare us.
We all could be hit by a bus tomorrow, and you shouldn't live your life like that. So I hope you guys do come next week, and when you do, I will show you around. You know, I'm the king of Vegas. I am the mayor of everything around here. I know every back door in and out of place, so we will have a good time. And I really hate to end on a solemn note, but it's something we should talk about because it has affected a lot of people. It's very affected me because although I didn't lose anyone directly to me, I was about 2 degrees of separation from many people that got shot and a few that are now deceased. So you never know. It sucks, but tonight we had fun. We had great guests on the show. Yes, we learned about giant Rancors with air conditioning units in it. Oh my God. That is so
That's awesome. I can't wait to come down there.
You know, I love doing the show. I love doing it with my friends. I love having great guests. I love everyone that tunes in live. It is so much fun. And so, you know, make sure that every day when you get to the end of your day, you're like, yeah, like I did the day. Don't get to the end of your day and go, I didn't do nothing. Do it. Do it every day. Yes. So, Sally Ann, thank you very much for being my guest. Thank you for being a police officer. Greg, thank you for being a funny spouse in the background. Yeah. You go pour that Rancor a glass of wine. And Debbie, thank you for being the co-host tonight.
That was my pleasure.
You've been a great friend. You and Bill have been such great friends to Stacy and I and the groups in general.
Oh,
I love you dearly.
Oh, we love you guys too.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Don't forget them. Can't forget the fur babies.
That's right.
Oh, heck yeah. My wife's at an exercise class. Mine is sound asleep right underneath my feet right now.
Mine's barking like crazy at something. I don't know.
Congratulations to both our winners. Ron, I do apologize for missing your answer. But Ron and Robin, you hit me up. I will take care of you. And we'll have a good time in Chicago in a couple weeks. I can't wait. And if you're watching the show, make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe because the live show from Chicago is going to be fun as hell. I guarantee that. And next week, I'm going to be back with another co-host and a great guest. Already got them lined up, so you will see that advertisement soon. And this week, my mom and I will be on Sunday at some point. I will definitely work it around the Cleveland Indians schedule. Some point doing selling past your expiration date, being thrifty over 50. And with that, I want to thank everyone and wish you all a good evening. And go Tribe. Woo!
Go Blue.
Bye.